Paths have been chosen, the wind is rising, and Stray Kids Horizons are expanding this week as we time travel to February 2020, joining the kids for the US leg of their District 9 Unlocked tour. Let's jump into the weeks leading up to Chan's Room episode 54. We're already 4 weeks into 2020, adjusting to a new cadence with Chan's Room episodes hitting once a month instead of every week. Cheating a bit because that's all right as time travelers, but it's important to remember that what's a week in between episodes for us is far longer for 2020 stays. We're watching Stray Kids harness the momentum they built with the Clay series, using it to broaden their horizons, first in Japan in 2019 and now in the USA with Double Knot and Levanter's English releases and the launch of their concert tour on American soil. Compared to Stray Kids' Showcase Tour the year before in the US, the leap they made with District 9 Unlock was monumental. Kicking it off at New York's Madison Square Garden, Stray Kids were proving they were no longer rookies, but rising stars on the global stage. Each stop became a milestone for Stray Kids, though, as they met stays in 8 different cities. These concerts weren't just performances, they were chances to grow closer to international stays, sharing their energy and authenticity, creating a bond that lasted long after the tour moved to its next stage. But it wasn't just dedicated stays the kids were here to see. There was a barrage of US press lined up for them. Morning show performances and interviews ranging from lighthearted moments to deep dives into their creative genius. In part, Stray Kids were here as Hallyu ambassadors, speaking to audiences who were largely unfamiliar with the concept of K-pop, but they were also showing up as themselves, ready to share their authentic voices with anyone willing to listen in those relatively new shores. It really can't be stressed enough how intense this stateside schedule was, though. Between flights, rehearsals, and performances, Stray Kids still carved out moments to enjoy the little things, eating traditional American favorites and Korean comfort food, and also visiting Universal Studios in LA, too. As they boarded plane after plane, visiting state after state, our kids never stopped marveling at the diversity of the scenes they were experiencing. From the snow in Chicago to Miami's stunning beaches and Phoenix's classic city vibe, Stay's warm welcome met them everywhere. Behind the scenes, the kids were still doing their day-to-day routines, working out relentlessly, watching dramas, and even spending some time to celebrate with Ian, who turned 20 while he was overseas, eating seaweed soup made by Chef Chung Bin in their hotel room. The tour wasn't without challenges, though. Stayville was undergoing a shift itself, actually, with stays drawing boundaries on what was acceptable behavior from certain overstepping fan sites. And in Miami, Chan fell ill, missing the high-touch event after managing to perform that full concert set. The grueling schedule of constant flights and back-to-back shows tested Stray Kids' resilience, but as ever, Chan reminded stays that it was the strength they sent Stray Kids that kept their infinite power source online. Stray Kids and Stay. The kids weren't just crossing borders in the US, they were unlocking new horizons, soaring beyond the limits they'd faced before, doing it all alongside their stays. The momentum they built during this time felt unstoppable, as if the sky itself was no longer the limit. Something beyond the sky is where they were headed, just not in the way they expected. The world was about to change in ways no one could predict, with the months ahead bringing unprecedented challenges that would reshape the path Stray Kids and Stay were walking together. Looking back, this was actually the last hurrah of the District 9 Unlocked tour, which came to an end just as it was taking off. The kids returned to South Korea, unaware that the energy they were bringing home with them was going to be leveraged in a completely new way. It's something that makes this chapter in Stray Kids history so meaningful, how we're being shifted onto a new path, being reminded that Stray Kids and Stay are actually their strongest when faced with the unexpected. That's why we'll be here this Sunday at 11 p.m. KST to rewatch Chan's Room episode 54 together. Because when the winds of change rose in 2020, Stays were there beside Chan and the kids. Years later, that's right where we'll be too. I'll see you then.